Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday afternoon, and we actually got to see some new images from Figure King magazine, but I think I'll talk about them maybe later this week or on the stream this weekend. But let's jump into yet another Patreon listener question. Once again, if you are interested in joining the Transformers Slag Patreon and asking a question that you want me to flesh out on the podcast, just check the description below of every segment and join the Patreon. And we have one today from brand new Patreon member jmautobot. Thanks again, JM, for joining the Patreon. He asks a really interesting question that when he asked me, I was actually kind of excited. And he asked, when I was a kid, I was exposed for the first time to Japanese Transformer cartoons when I was giving a VHS recorded from Japanese TV. Even though I could not understand the words, I was amazed at the catchy and beautiful opening and closing themes, particularly the Japanese Headmaster's cartoon. I was wondering if you had any information or stories about Japanese or other Transformer cartoon themes. Are they written by any known anime or Japanese songwriters? Why they seem so much more meaningful than their US counterparts? Basically, do you have any history or information that would be interesting or fun to know about regarding that? Oh man, like again, this is my jam. This is my topic because I'm a for people who don't know, I'm a humongous weeb. Like I am just a big anime Japanese weeb guy. I just love Japanese fiction, Japanese culture, Japanese music. And during high school for me, which high school for me was 1995 to 2000. That was my 5-year stint of high school in Canada. And I was just knee deep in anime and Japanese culture. And of course, even that of Transformers. I was lucky during all of high school during that Beast Wars run. And when I went into college, the tail end of Beast Machines going into car robots. And there was just so much good Japanese Transformer music. To answer your question, yes, they are more meaningful. And a lot of these songwriters and singers that performed the Transformer music for the Japanese counterparts are very well-known individuals. And they actually come up quite a bit within the 35-plus year history of Transformers. And like I'll kind of like go through some of them and even go through some of my favorites. Like the very first Japanese Transformer theme, which is literally just called Transformer, was done by Satoko Shimonari. And she was like the one that did, You Can Fight, Transformer, and then she also did the end theme for season 1 and 2, Peace Again. And she's very well known, and she would actually go on to do the famous end theme of Gal Geiger, which was the end theme for the TV series and the end theme for the OVA, which is it's so good, like a very heartfelt theme. And so she kind of like kept, it's amazing that the woman who did the very first theme song for Transformers would do the end theme for all of Gal Geiger, which is one of the greatest Brave/Yusha series, which is like a cousin series to Transformers ever made. When we jump over to even like, let's say Transformers 2010, that's season 3, which is, the Rodimus episodes. Those two intro and outro themes were done by Sho Hiroshi. He didn't really do much, unfortunately, but he had that famous, theme, dash, dash, transforma, da 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 da. Then we move on to one of my favorites, and I also know for a personal fact, Derek Wyatt of Transformers Animated fame, his personal favorite of them all, the Headmaster's theme. And the guy who sung it is a effing legend. Hironobu Kageyama, a.k.a. the leader of Jam Project, the guy who sung practically everything amazing. He's probably best known for Dragon Ball Z's theme, Chala, Head Chala, but he's done everything that's awesome. Of course, he did all of the music in Headmasters, the insert songs, the intro, the outro, and I love that Headmaster song. I used to jam to that like crazy in high school. He did the Beast Wars medals, which was like the season 2 and season 3 stuff. He did all the songs for that, and those are hidden gems too. If you ever get a chance, go listen to those Beast Wars medal songs like Evolution and Lonely Soldier. Holy moly, those are like, I don't know, like those were written to like be like Depth Charge's like theme or something. They were so good, those ones. Used to listen to those a lot in college. And of course, with Jam Project, he would then go on to do the Transformers animated Japanese theme, which so many people love. You know, Transformer Evo. You know, all I can do transforma. Like, it's so great, so great stuff. Then of course, you have, in my opinion, one of the great ones too, is that of Master Force, which had a lot of great music too, and it was sung by Toshiya Agarishi. And Toshiya Agarishi did the outro, he did the intro, and he also did one of my favorite songs in the whole series, which was a Kiseki no Transformer, which is the moon battle against Black Zarak. Love that scene with God Ginrai and Black Zarak and Grand Maximus, like, just great music. Again, one of my favorite Transformer themes, definitely in like my top 5 for sure. And he would go on to do, ironically, like Transformers' rival series at the time, GoBots, in Japan was called Machine Robo. And the Machine Robo opening theme, Battle Hackers, was done by Toshiya also. So really good stuff. Then we get to, oh man, here we go. Another effing legend in everything. And we're talking Kōji Kaya, who did the intro for Transformers Victory. And this guy, amazing stuff. He would go on to do tons of other mecha series, and specifically a personal favorite of mine, Godanar, which is a really good mecha series, and he did the intro for that. Again, well known. And then we go into another guy that I think is probably the biggest legend of them all, even more so than Kageyama that I just mentioned, and that's of Ichiro Mizuki. This guy who did the opening for Transformers Zone and for Transformers Zone's outro, oh man, like, again, he's part of Jam's project with all the crew, but this guy has done like almost every single opening for Japanese Power Ranger series, Toku stuff, Sentai. He's done the intro for like all the key mecha through the history of mecha since the 60s. So Mazinger Z, Great Mazinger, Voltron. So like, I mean, like, it's every time I think of Mazinger Z, you know, it's always like, you know, Tobase Tekken Borestu Fire. Like, it's amazing stuff. He's a legend. He's an absolute legend. And of course, he would go on to do so much other stuff with Jam Project and end up coming all the way back with the animated theme of Transformers, the Transform Evo with Kageyama, with that crazy crew of awesome guys. And the last ones I just want to mention, these are the more like, I guess we'll call them like year 2000, turn of the century ones. I just want to like mention a few key ones. Of course, can't talk Transformers amazing themes without my personal favorite of them all, the Car Robots theme, which is Hono no Overdrive, sung by Kōji Wada, who passed away. Kōji Wada, amazing singer. Car Robots theme, absolutely incredible. He's best known for like within the Digimon world and the Digimon community. He sung all the themes for Digimon, my two favorites being probably Butterfly and Biggest Dreamer from the Digimon stuff. But Car Robots theme just stands above everything else as my favorite Transformer theme song from Japan. And then a few other ones like Micron, aka Armada in Japan, Psychic Lover, a very famous group in Japan, Psychic Lover, which did a whole bunch of great themes for different animes and stuff, and again, Power Ranger, Sentai stuff. They did the intro for my favorite Sentai series, which is Deca Ranger, but they also did like, you know, the intro for Bakugan, Card Fight Vanguard, Buddy Fight, a whole bunch of animes. But they did for Micron Armada, they did the Dream Again opening and Never Ending Road intro and outro, which are both really good songs too, and definitely go check those out. And the last one that I want to touch on is another one I really like, which is Galaxy Force, one of my favorite Transformers series. The intro and outro were done by Shinji Kageyama, and he did the intro and outro also for Sunred, which is a really good series, and Gear Fight Den-O, another well-established intro, outro kind of guy and singer. So like Transformers history, when they do intros and outros, they're just jam-packed with so much going on. And it's such a shame that it's something culturally is kind of lost today with cartoons, where, you know, back in the 80s, we kind of got decent intros that had lyrics and stuff and were done by different people. But they were usually 30 seconds or less. Japan, culturally, ever since the 60s, intros were always a minute and 30 seconds. And there was always full versions of those songs out there. So it was always about the intro, the music, the history. The outros were also full songs with lyrics and were usually tied into the character in some kind of explanation or story, and they were always epic. And Transformers especially has a long history of amazing music and CDs and full intros that is just kind of lost in American culture. We always look at the 86 movie and we celebrate its soundtrack because of how epic it was and all these long songs and lyrics, but we don't really have that with the rest of Transformers, unfortunately. I mean, look at something like Beast Wars that we love and celebrate, and we don't even have like an OST or soundtrack of that to buy or listen to. It's kind of a lost thing on our side of the planet, but in Japan, music is very important and very integral and tied into our fiction, and it's kind of like, I feel like maybe, you know, the early MTV generation just kind of like inserted steroids into Japanese culture and made them go, we could really make these two work together. But even then, like if you look at the 70s and the 60s, that was still a present thing, and music was very important. And I love it. And I'm so glad that you asked this question, because Japanese Transformer music is something I kind of obsess over a little bit. I try to collect as many CDs as I can. I have like literally everything in MP3 format, and I just jam to it all the time. That Car Robots theme, that Headmasters theme, those two probably got played the most out of everything, you know, just chilling with my friends or stuff like that. Even Wendell, Jaws D, he could account for that Car Robots theme being blasted from my bedroom back in the day. It was practically like my alarm clock back in the day. It was just my way to get hyped for the day. But thanks again for the listener question. I hope that you learned a little something there. Just a whole bunch of really great guys. Like, again, if you want some suggestions, go check out Jam Project and all their stuff. The whole crew, every single one of those people that are part of Jam Project are legends within themselves. Kōji Wada, the guy who did Car Robots' theme and all the Digimon stuff, a very good singer too, Psychic Lover. There's a lot of great guys there that you could be checking out. And yeah, thanks again for the listener question. If you are interested in asking a Patreon listener question, much like jmautobot over here, be sure to check out the description below and be a part of the madness that is Transformers Slag, and rock out.